Hello and welcome to your English language class. Today in this class we will be taking up the question answers and book exercise of the chapter The Footsteps Die Out Forever. Okay, I hope you've understood this chapter well. So let's take the question answers. First question is, how do the people in the houses react to the carts on the streets? What are the carts used for? So the answer to it would be, the people in the houses were so used to the spectacle that there were no curious faces at the windows and no one pauses in their work. But their eyes looked carefully at the faces in the carts. And the second part is, what are the carts used for? The carts were used to bring the prisoners to the guillotine where they were beheaded. Okay. So this would be the answer to the first question. The second question is, how do the people in the carts behave? So the answer would be, some of the prisoners riding the carts observe the crowd calmly while others look on with a lingering interest in life. Several close their eyes and think or try to get their thoughts together. Sometimes one or two prisoners got so shattered and horrified that he starts singing and dancing, but not a single prisoner appealed to the pity of the people. Alright, the third question is, whom do the horsemen point to? Describe this person's behavior. So the answer would be, the horsemen frequently pointed out to Charles Darnay Evremont. He stood at the back of the cart with his head bent down, talking to a girl who sat on one side of the cart and held his hand. He had no curiosity or care for the scene around him. He spoke only to the girl. Okay. Now, fourth question is, why was the spy worried? So the answer would be, the spy was worried because he was not sure whether Evremont would be there in the cart or not. He was afraid that Evremont will escape somehow. The fifth question is, what does the crowd's reaction to Evremont show? So the answer would be, here and there in the street, people were shouting against him. If they move him at all, it is only to a quiet smile as he shakes his hair a little more loosely about his face. Sixth question is, how did Sydney Carton comfort the seamstress? The answer would be, Sydney Carton comforted the seamstress by holding her hand continuously. He asked her to keep her eyes on him and to mind nothing else. The last question is, what were Sydney Carton's last thoughts? So the answer would be, Sydney Carton's last thoughts were that his sacrifice will be acknowledged by Lucy and Evremont, and they will name their baby after him in his honor. The people of France will rise and come out of the horror. There will be peace and freedom everywhere. He will be fondly remembered by one and all forever. Okay, the next part is, read these lines and answer the questions. First is, he is going to pay the price in less than 5 minutes. Let him be at peace. Who said these words and to whom? The spy said these words to the horseman. Okay, second is, which person is being talked about here? Charles Darnay Evremont is being talked about here. Why must this person pay a price? He was thought of to be a criminal because of the crimes committed by his father and his uncles. Okay. Second question is, I see her with a child in her arms who bears my name, and I know that I am fondly remembered and honored in their hearts forever. Who are the people the narrator is referring to? So the narrator is referring to Lucy Manet and Charles Darnay Evremont. B part is, what vision does he have of these people? He visualized them to be really happy and to be blessed with a baby. C part is, why does he believe he will be fondly remembered and honored in their hearts? He sacrificed his own life to save theirs, so he believed that he will be fondly remembered and honored in their hearts. Okay. Next part is think and answer. So what do you think of the knitting women? Was their behavior unusual? Why do you think so? So the answer would be, the knitting women were quite unusual and weird, as they were least bothered about the beheading procedure, and instead they were keeping a count of the heads. Okay, the second question is Sydney Carton a hero? Give reasons for your answer. Yes, Sydney Carton is a hero because he sacrificed his own life for his selfless love. Not many people have that kind of courage in their hearts. Next is know your values. In the text you read that Sydney Carton sacrificed his life for someone he loved. Would you help someone if he or she cannot give you anything in return? So that is a big question. That is unconditional selfless love. And we should all have that kind of love towards our parents, towards our siblings, towards all the human beings in the world. Even if they are not of much help to us, then also we should love them unconditionally. Okay, that should be our perspective, that should be our approach towards all the human beings that are there. When we care for others, we do things for them without expecting anything in return. We go out of our way to help them even when we gain nothing by doing so. तो हमें हमेशा कोई कंडीशन पर काम नहीं करना चाहिए, कभी भी ये सोच के काम नहीं करना चाहिए या किसी की हेल्प नहीं करनी चाहिए कि बदले में हमें क्या मिलेगा. Like in this story, Sydney Carton sacrificed his life without even thinking that what he will gain in return, right? So likewise, we should also live our lives like this only. Now, okay, here's the grammar part. Read this pair of sentences. He predicted the future in his last thoughts. His last thoughts included a prediction about the future. In the first sentence, the word predicted is a verb. In the second sentence, we have used the word prediction, which is the noun form of the verb. Okay, so this is the other way of writing the same thing. Okay, first is he predicted the future, that is the verb form, and prediction becomes the noun form. So now read this pair of sentences. I see people living peaceful and free lives. I see people living a life of peace and freedom. So in the first sentence, the words peaceful and free are adjectives. In the second sentence, we have used the words peace and freedom, which are the noun forms of the verbs. Sometimes we can express our ideas more precisely by using the noun forms of verbs, adjectives or adverbs. Changing verbs, adverbs or adjectives to nouns is called nominalization. इसको क्या कहते हैं? Nominalization. जब आप किसी verb को, adjective को या adverb को उसकी noun form में change कर दें. Like for example, Julia is an intelligent girl. This helps her solve problems easily. Yeah, intelligent क्या है? It's being used as an adjective. And in the second sentence, Julia's intelligence helps her solve problems easily. Here we have used the noun form of intelligent, which is intelligence. Okay, we can form nouns by adding suffixes like tion, sion, ment, ism, ness and so on to verbs and adjectives. Like the noun form of operate will be operation, and polite की noun form क्या होगी? Politeness. We do not add suffixes to some words when we change them to nouns, like sell became sale and beautiful becomes beauty. The noun forms of these verbs don't require any suffixes. Some words do not change when we use them as nouns. Rise, control, increase. These are the noun forms as well. So here's one exercise for you. Combine these two sentences into a single sentence using the noun forms of the words in color. Like for example, the coach praises the team. This has helped them become better basketball players. The coach's praise of the team has helped them become better basketball players. Okay. Likewise, you have to attempt all these questions and try to combine these sentences by using the noun forms of the words in color. I hope you'll be able to do these because it's very easy. Okay. Alright, do these exercise and do all the question answers of this chapter in your notebook of course book and submit your homework by 3 o'clock tomorrow. Thank you for watching this video.